Now that we've already learned VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP, let's look at a much more flexible function in Excel called Xlookup. The follow-along file is linked below the video in the Canvas module. Xlookup essentially replaces both VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP because it can search in any direction and does not require the lookup column to be on the left side. Let's look at the worksheet on the screen. On the left side, we have our dataset. Column A contains the list of expense items, such as groceries, mortgage, utilities, and so on. Column B contains the 2023 totals, and column C contains the 2024 totals. Here I have created a lookup area where we can select an item and instantly return the totals for both years. We have done these exercises before, but this time we are going to use the Xlookup function. In cell E3, we have a drop-down where we can select an item, exactly the way we created the list in HLOOKUP video using Data Validation tool. Right now, the selected item is groceries. Our goal is to return the 2023 value and the 2024 value for this selected item using Xlookup. We will write the formula using the Insert function window. First, I will click the cell F2 where the 2023 value should appear. I'll type in equals and search for Xlookup, and then, as I find it, I will just click the Insert function button, FX, from the formula bar to open the argument window. Isn't it convenient? In our function argument window, the first field is lookup value. Here, I select cell E2, which contains the expense items chosen from the drop-down list. This is the value or reference Excel will search for. I will make it an absolute reference since I will autofill the formula for 2024. The second field is the lookup array. This is where we will select the range where Excel will look for the item name or the reference we just used, which for us is grocery. So I select the range A3 through A31, which contains the list of expense items. I will use absolute reference for this range too, since I am going to copy the formula for 2024. The third field is the return array. This tells Excel which column contains the value we want returned, or what are we searching for. Since we are retrieving the 2023 totals, I select the range B3 through B31. I will not use absolute reference here since I want the range to relatively change from B column to C column. We will come back to this Not Found option in another solution. Now let's move on to the next and type in false so that it gives us an exact match. After entering these arguments, I click OK. Excel now searches for the selected item, in this case, groceries, within the items list in column A, and then returns the matching value from the 2023 column, which is $10,542. Let's autofill the formula to the next cell, and now it is giving us the data for 2024. Let's open the argument window again by clicking the FX. For the lookup value, it's E2, the same drop-down cell as before. For the lookup array, again, it's A3 through A31. This is where Excel searches for the item name. The only thing that changes is the return array. This time, the range is C3 through C31. Therefore, for the previous return array range, I didn't change it to an absolute value since I wanted the range to relatively change from B column to C column. Excel again finds groceries in the list and returns the value from the 2024 column, which is $13,280.
For our next Xlookup example, I'm using the same dataset from Chapter 7 that we used for the Pivot Scored Assessment. The reason I chose this dataset is because it contains a large amount of data, which makes it perfect for demonstrating the convenience and power of Xlookup. This time, I renamed the worksheet Human Resource MCC_Tech. Before we start writing the formula, let's quickly look at the structure of the dataset and review the column headers. Each column represents a different piece of employee information. The headers include last name, first name, username, email, role or their designation, age, phone, sex, marital status, address, city, state, zip code, salary, and hired, which represents the date the employee was hired. This dataset simulates a human resources employee database, and we will use Xlookup to quickly retrieve specific employee information from this table.
Now, let's use Xlookup to find an employee's role using the last name in Q3 as our reference. Let's open the function argument window. The last name column will be our lookup array because that is the value we will search for. And the role column will be the return array. In the function arguments window, we will enter the following. The lookup value is the cell Q3, where the last name will be selected from the list. This tells Excel which employee we are searching for. The lookup array is the last name column because that is where Excel will search for the matching name. The return array is the role column since that is the information we want returned. And then I need an exact match. Once the arguments are entered, I click OK. Now Excel searches through the last name column, finds the matching employee, and returns the role associated with that person. For example, if we enter a last name from the list in Q3, Excel will instantly return that employee's role within the company, making it much faster and easier to retrieve information from a large data set like this one. In this solution, we are going to see why Xlookup is considered the most flexible of all the lookup functions. In this example, our lookup reference is in cell T3. I have already formatted this cell using the long date format because our reference value is based on the employee's hire dates. Let's open the argument window here. Our reference or lookup value is T3. The lookup array is the range 03 through 032, which happens to be the rightmost column in our dataset. Our return array will be the last name column, which is located in A3 through A32, the leftmost column in the dataset. This is one of the reasons Xlookup is so powerful. Unlike older lookup functions, it can search both left and right as long as you clearly specify the lookup and return ranges. Because of this flexibility, many people refer to Xlookup as lookup on steroids. Now I will select the return array by pressing Ctrl plus Shift plus down arrow to quickly select the range A3 through A32. Next, in the If Not Found argument, I will type Not Found. This means that if the lookup value does not exist in the hire date list, Excel will display Not Found instead of an error. For the match mode, we want an exact match, so I will enter 0, which tells Excel to only return a result if the date exactly matches one in the dataset. You can either use 0 or false for exact match.
Now you can see that whenever I change the hire date reference in cell T3, the formula immediately returns the last name of the employee hired on that date. Let's try another example. If I enter today's date, the formula returns not found, because that date does not exist in our hiring dataset. Because of this flexibility and simplicity, Xlookup, the new kid on the block, is quickly replacing many of the older lookup functions.
In our next solution, we want the entire record of an employee to appear automatically when we select a name from the list. In other words, when we choose a last name from the drop-down list, the full employee record will populate in the adjacent cells. We will accomplish this using the Xlookup function. Our lookup cell in this example is Q8, which contains the employee's last name selected from the drop-down list. The lookup array is the column that contains all of the employee last names, which is the range A3 through A32. Next, we define the return array. Instead of returning just one column, we want Excel to return the entire record for that employee. Therefore, the return array includes the entire dataset from B3 through O32. This range contains all the employee information, starting from first name through the hired column. By returning the entire range, Excel will display all the details for the selected employee, not just a single value. Let's go over it again. The lookup value is Q8, which contains the selected last name. The lookup array is A3 to A32. The return array is B3 to O32, which includes the complete employee dataset. For the match mode, we will enter 0, which tells Excel to perform an exact match. After entering the arguments, we click OK. Now we can see the convenience of Xlookup. When I select a last name from the drop-down list, the entire record for that employee automatically appears in the cells below. For example, if I select one employee's last name, their full record appears instantly. If I select another employee from the list, that employee's record will appear as well. This demonstrates how Xlookup can return multiple columns of data at once, making it a powerful and flexible lookup function.